This is 91.3 FM, WCW in Worcester, Massachusetts, with a recorded interview with the director of Muck, a new horror movie out from Anchor Bay, directed by Steve Walsh, which you can find now on DVD and Blu-ray. Thank you for coming on the show with us, Steve.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Steve, tell everyone who's not familiar with it what Muck is.
Muck. So, Muck is, the biggest thing about Muck is the middle chapter of a horror trilogy. And I think that's the first thing you have to realize about it. It's kind of what sets it apart. So there's a prequel under pre-production right now we're working on. But it's kind of a throwback horror movie, half partly homage, and partly kind of a new take on like old school, no CGI horror movies. And so we think of things, the late 70s, early 80s. And that'll give you a good idea of what Muck is.
What's the premises of Muck?
So Muck starts out without any, foreplay, if you will. It's you're finding a group of people, and they just got out of a marsh. Something bad happened to them. Some of their friends are lost or otherwise dead, missing, and you find this group, and they are, already some of them hurt and disarray, and they have to take shelter in the house they find, and then there's something else that comes after them as well that they didn't know, and you kind of pick up the story right there. So instead of the first 20 minutes of your normal slasher movie where people are making jokes and they're traveling up to some cabin or campground or something like that, in their Tahoe or their Escalade, and then they stop at a gas station, and then eventually something bad happens. This movie kind of just forgoes all that. That's kind of part of what the prequel will be, but this just starts right in this middle of this greater story.
Yeah, I noticed that they're running through the swamp, injured and hurt. And then it cuts to an opening credit sequence of a woman only running around in her panties.
It's true. It's true. You speak the truth in those things. Well, here's the thing. Muck is like 86 pages of like 347 pages of script. It's designed to be something that you haven't seen before, or it's three stories that tell a greater story, and they'll all bookend. So the prequel will lead up to those events that you're just talking about, and literally Muck will pick up the next frame from the ending of the prequel, and then the next movie, the third one in the trilogy, will start right after Muck stops. And it's kind of the idea was I wanted to deliver a story in a different way, kind of allow for some really cool things that'll come up in the prequel, like watching a movie that's a horror movie, and a lot of the people in the movie are safe because you've already seen them die in Muck, and we have to introduce new characters, and you'll have to realize that maybe those are the ones that die, maybe they survive to the third one, and in the third one that we can play with, maybe some of the people in Muck that did die are not as dead as you thought. Some of the people from the first one, the prequel, is not as dead as you thought, and there's a bigger story, and it just gives us a lot of a different perspective on a movie than I've seen, and that's just something I really wanted to try to bring to life in this manner.
The movie's gotten kind of all over the place, mixed reaction reviews and stuff. What do you say about that? Like when the reaction's kind of all over the place, especially like on IMDb, it's got a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that today. It's interesting that on IMDb in particular,
and Rotten Tomatoes is just as bad.
Yeah. There's 5 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. On IMDb, the thing about that, you have to watch it to do those, but no, it's definitely been kind of polarizing. It's kind of loved or hated. There's, if you actually look at the critic reviews, there's a lot of people that love the movie. And there's also a lot of people that just thought it was the worst thing ever. I would say that it's not for everybody. The fact that some people love it, it was for them. And, that's kind of the beauty of making your own movie, making a movie for a micro budget. I didn't have to make a movie that was going to be popular for everybody. There's a certain kind of fan that would really kind of understand this movie. The LA Times, they were never going to give it a good review, and some of those things. But I enjoy all the reviews. I think I like reading the ones that are bad and negative more than the good ones. Because the good ones are like, yeah, they think how I think. I get it. But the bad ones are fun. Hasn't stopped us from selling. We're selling like crazy, so that's obviously important. But it's fun. I think it's a good place to start from. I'd rather be loved and hated than everyone just go, it was all right. So I'm having fun with the whole thing.
Now, did you go out of your way to try and get Kane Hodder in here, or was he an easy catch for the film as one of the villains?
I wanted him. I'm a big fan of the Jason movies. I'm a big fan of Kane Hodder. It's a process. First you gotta track down his agent, and you gotta get them to know who you are and read the script. And he did, and he liked it. And I really wanted to have him in the movie because I think that he's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to have in the movie. It was good for marketing, obviously, but it was just the whole movie. A lot of the things I like about horror movies, and Kane Hodder is something I like about horror movies. So we just had him for one day though. Some people are like, man, I wish Kane Hodder was in it longer, and I do too. But his time is valuable, and he had to fly to, Massachusetts and be on Cape Cod, and 6 hours of makeup, and we really had him just for the one day. But, I think we maximized what we had with him, and he's going to be back into the prequel. We'll have more time than this time. We're going to spend a little more money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, but yeah, I really wanted him to be involved, and it was kind of cool. He has some real scars from a stunt accident, a car fire when like 76, 78. And we were actually able to incorporate some of that into his fake scars in the movie and in his makeup. And we're going to do more of that in the next one. We'll have a little more time to really develop his look. But it was a lot of fun having on set. And, having been part of the whole thing. He was at Comic-Con with us this past fall and whatnot. And he's a ride. People love him.
You filmed the movie in Cape Cod?
Yeah, the whole movie. All location. It was 19 straight all-night shoot.
This show is broadcast from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I know. I figured that's why he wanted to talk to us.
Are you filming Muck 2, Feast of Saints?
We're gonna film all the movies there. We have a lot more movies we're gonna film on Cape Cod. But yeah, no, it's I have a house in West Ennis. That's the house that the movie was filmed on, and it's actually the only house on the court like it's depicted in the film, and it actually sits on this huge marsh, right, then the ocean, how it is in the film, and that was an asset that I had that I could destroy, essentially. So I wrote Muck and the trilogy and all these films kind of center around that marsh and that house. And so that's what we did. I mean, everyone told me that it was impossible to make the movie we made and get everyone from LA and just to feed them and house them, for the better part of a month on Cape Cod. I couldn't get any other producers even attempt it with me because they're like, you just can't do it for $200,000. But we did, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of it feels so real. I mean, we're in all those marshes. I mean, we're in the deep water and deep mud and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's part of the fun.
Is filming in Cape Cod how you got hooked up with the cosplayers who are going to be in the next one? No, they're because those cosplayers are actually from Massachusetts.
Yeah, Nicole had just moved when I met her to California. It's like San Diego area. last year. But she's she's from Boston, or right around there. And
I know.
Then,
I know who she is.
yeah. So she's great. And then Leanna, I'd known from other like modeling stuff that we kind of crossed paths once before. But yeah, they're both gonna be in the next film, and they're a lot of fun. We'll have fun with them, and they probably won't survive, but it'll be fun.
You definitely have a best of pretty looking people in this movie, from guys and girls, mostly girls, and the cast list of the first one definitely had a lot more women in it, like Playboy playmate Jacqueline Sweenberg.
Yeah, she's great. We are actually going to have 3 playmates be here in the next movie.
I met Jacqueline at a car show here in Massachusetts in 2012.
What's that?
I said I met Jacqueline at a car show in Massachusetts in 2012.
Yeah, she's great. She does a lot of shows. We've actually had them at the LA Comic Con the last couple of years, and horror fans and comic fans love to come out and meet the Playmates of the Year. They'll have comic posters for Muck, like graphic posters that they sign and stuff, and they're kind of, all the characters have one. All the girls anyway have their own like comic poster. So we take those to the Kamikaze. That's the LA's Comic Con, and we do all that, and it's a lot of fun. Leanna was there this year. Nicole was not, but yeah.
The movie definitely has the creep factor going with it, because it's shot all entirely at night, right?
Yeah, it's all at night.
Is the prequel going to be at night, or is it going to be earlier, like later in the day, leading into night, since it's a prequel and it leads up to the kids running through the swamp?
So the Muck is only 6 hours of real time in this story. So the prequel is the day before, leading up to that night. So it kind of starts in the morning, goes through the day, and then most of it is the night leading up to the beginning of Muck. So there will be some day scenes and some sunlight, in the next note, which actually makes it really challenging to produce, in the sense that we'll have to switch from being up all night, filming some weeks all at night, and other weeks, we'll actually daylight. I guess shooting 19 straight all-night shoots is very grueling, but you get on some sort of schedule, at least a little bit, that, you're kind of sleeping, if you're sleeping at all, from like 10 in the morning to like 2, kind of thing. But, with the prequel, it's going to have to be varied a little bit. So we'll have to kind of plan around the best game plan, so people can be, up and around all night long, and then maybe some days have to, be working all day. So
you did.
We'll shoot. We shot on Epix. We hit a light form, but we lit form, so the movie can maintain that crisp look, even though it's night. And then we'll film on Red Dragons, who's next one. So I got a drone now. Got a really cool drone. So we'll have a lot more aerial shots. There's some stuff we're going to do with that. We're going to have a drone on set every day. So I'm pretty excited about that.
You did a Kickstarter for the Muck 2?
Yeah, we did. I think, almost $300,000 we raised, which was pretty cool when we raised that. Basically we're an unknown commodity, and we were able to raise, over $250,000 for the prequel to a film that no one's seen. So, but yeah, we did that, and Leanna and Nicole were involved in that, and that was it was great. It was really great to get that kind of response for something we were trying to do.
Have you fully cast Muck 2?
No. We got like some of the pieces, the people that were involved in the last cast, and then we have some of the we cast the last two Playmates, the current Playmate of the Year, and then Raquel, was Playmate of the Year, 13. Kate Howard's coming back. We got this supermodel Jordan Carver is going to be involved, but like there's still probably 15 roles to be cast. We'll probably start on that. Probably the end of May, maybe early June. I'm gonna do some scouting. Be in Mass on Cape Cod, probably late this month or maybe early next month for 3 or 4 weeks, kind of finishing up the scouting so we can do the schedule. Then we'll come back and cast.
Are you casting for anything else, or for crew and stuff?
I will be. I mean, last time we actually did not have very much local crew, which means everyone had to be imported. And that's it'd be nice if we could, have a little more time to find some crew that is local. So, I'll be there in July and early August, and we'll try to see if we can't put some more crew together that's, from there. It's just you got to have a good, team consistency, and, all the department heads were all from, LA, so they all want to bring their teams, but we're going to try to, bridge that gap a little bit with more local crew this time around. Nothing else, just the travel expenses and whatnot.
I'm in the area, and you can reach me on through my email on the phone or on Skype. So give me a call.
Yeah, definitely. What do you do?
I work a lot in audio editing, but I'm actually going to be doing on May 1st through the 3rd. Me and my team will be entering the 48-hour film challenge.
Okay, that's cool. What are you guys? Which one? I guess I'm not familiar.
You're not familiar with the 48-hour film challenge?
No.
You have. It's been going on for the last 12 years. I'm sorry, it's been going on longer than that, I think. You have.
Is it just one that's it's not something you do lots of places? There's one that's the main one?
No. If you go to the 48-hour film challenge website, there's a 48-hour film challenge in over 100 countries all over the world.
That's awesome. Yeah, believe it or not, the first thing I ever did in any kind of film is just Muck. We've been doing that just not quite 3 years, so it's you have 48 hours to make a movie, and you don't know what your genre is going to be, what your MacGuffin is going to be, and you have to have a specific line of dialogue that they give you to put into your film, and you get that on Thursday night, and then the contest begins Friday at noon and goes till Sunday at noon, and you have 48 hours to cut, make, edit, print, score your movie. The only thing you can do ahead of time is put your cast and crew together and scout your locations, but you are not allowed to come up with any plot until the movie begins. Now, however, they cannot control what your brain is going to think about. So if you start thinking of ideas and it can be used in different genres, horror, action, comedy, romance, musical, sci-fi, superhero, whatever, that's fine. I mean, they can't prevent you from coming up with stuff in your own head, but you just can't write anything down. That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. How long are the films? Is there
7 to 10 minutes. 7 to 10 minutes, because you obviously cannot make a 2-hour movie in 48 hours.
Right, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a 7 to 10 minute short film, and then a week later they have the festival where they have the first, second, and third place winners. First place obviously is distribution.
So there's the first, second, third is from all the different countries, or every country has a winner?
Every country and every state, as well in the United States, because obviously we're much larger than some countries. Right. There are challenges throughout the year. The Boston Challenge is in May. I don't know when any of the other challenges are. I've not really looked into it that far. But yeah, they have challenges almost every month going on throughout with this organization. You can go to 48hourfilmproject.com to check it out.
That's awesome, man. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is, from what I've told. So I've got my crew together of people throughout New England that have worked in films in various degrees, and I'm the producer and team leader. My job is to just be the writer and producer and team leader and head grip and food guy and
Yeah, no, I know. When I was making Muck, I decided that we shouldn't spend the money on an extra dumpster. When you're making a movie, you get a lot of trash. So every morning, after we're done filming all night, I would go take all the trash back to my truck, and I would just go put it in dumpsters behind gas stations and things like that. That saved us $800 a week on extra trash pickups in a dumpster. So I was director and writer and producer and garbage guy. So I know how that goes. You got to wear a lot of hats.
A couple questions I got asked to be sent to me on Twitter about Muck when I said I was going to interview the director. The ones that the three that I picked, if you don't mind answering them.
Yeah.
One comes from at aprilpickups.com. Sorry, just hashtag April, whatever that's their call sign. How come there is a amazing amount of nudity in Muck?
A lot of people ask me that. I don't think there's an amazing amount of nudity.
In the opening credit sequence, you have a woman running through the swamp, topless, and rubbing her breasts of mud.
Right. I don't know that's an amazing amount. Here's the thing. I think what it is it's paced different than other movies. It's shot with more reverence and more cinematic than most horror movies when it comes to nudity or just in general. And it's more voyeuristic than most horror movies or movies in general. And I think that's bothering people. They don't know exactly what it is, but it makes them feel dirty and it makes them feel weird. It makes maybe their dick move a different way, and it really bothers some people. But there's no sex in the movie. There's not that much nudity. There's the opening sequence, which we worked on a long time. There's other cool things about that than that footage that's spliced in there. But other than that, you have Kylie maybe for 30 seconds. You see when she's getting attacked, but then she's covered up when she's thrown out the window naked. For the most part, you see a nipple there, here and there. We barely show Desiree in the shower. We really edit that so you don't see a lot of tit. In fact, I don't think you ever see both her tits at once. They're in the dark. They're just you see a side here and there. The Playmate of the Year, spoiler alert, doesn't actually get naked. She's implied. She's holding her tits. You never see them. And then there's the one scene where there's the creeper looking at Audra and also Bryce, but it's really it's pretty tame. There's movies where nuns get raped and people get murdered and there's all kinds of sex, and it's just because the movie's shot different. It's not cheesy. It's not uncinematic, and the music works for it, and it's a different thing. But it's not an amazing amount of nudity. There's people it's just porn. It's not even sex. It's not even close to porn. But I think and that's what I was going for. We do, the nudity is treated different than other movies I've ever seen, and definitely other horror movies, and it's shot different, and it feels like a lot, and it feels different, but it's not a lot. I think it's actually pretty tame. So that's my response to that particular question.
How do you get the shot? Another person asked, how do you get the Muck shot glass, which is basically a woman in her bra and panties made into a shot glass?
Well, that is a long process. So those are hand painted in China.
I have one. By the way, Anchor Bay sent me one.
Good. They're awesome, right? They're really cool, I think.
Is that any particular person in the movie, by the way, who happens to wear a black bra and panty the entire movie?
That would be Laura Francesca.
Okay.
The character Mia, and by the way, Mia was named for MIA. So that's a little clever tidbit for you. But, yeah, she missed an action.
I tried going to her website. By the way, it keeps crashing.
Yeah, I don't know. Her main thing is YouTube. But yeah. So we order these so far in advance because we were really worried about getting them. They came. There's only 1,000. They had to be handmade, hand painted from China. They were on a boat. They were stuck in customs in Long Beach for like 2 months.
Yeah, a lot of that is happening when it's coming from China.
Yeah, so eventually got that there. We ordered 1,000. You have one of them. There is still some left. We kind of give them out at events. We had an after party for one of the premieres. Give them out. There's no good way to get them yet. I think the best thing would be just to, tweet at us. We do a lot of contests. We just got done doing one on the Crypt app. We gave like 12 shot glasses away. We also gave away paint out and autograph posters. We're going to keep doing stuff like that. So just, Get the Muck Out, their Twitter handle. Just tweet at us, and we'll let you know next time we're doing some kind of contest. That's the best way. There were Kickstarter prizes, so a lot of them went out that way, but we still have some left. So
cool. And then the third question is, with a bigger budget for Muck 2 and possibly Muck 3, do you plan on having a wider scope with the film to make it more... their Twitter got cut off, so I'm assuming they probably just are looking for a bigger, badder film.
Yeah, much bigger. The scope. I mean, the scope of the whole thing, all 3 movies, is huge. But the prequel is, it borders on an action movie in some parts. But it is a much bigger story. You got to remember. So I'm making a movie. There's like 8 characters that I can't kill off. Like the entire cast of the first movie, Muck, is in it, and I can't kill them off because they're either survived or they're already dead or whatever from Muck. So I have to introduce all of them, but also introduce this whole other stories, all these other people, because the body count has to go up because it's the sequel. But it's the prequel, so I can't kill anyone off from the first one, but I have to introduce them all. So it's a really cool way they all get webbed together, but it's in a lot of ways it's its own horror movie because it's not the horror movie that Muck is. It's before that stuff happens. So it's pretty cool. And then they all have to come together, and the ending is pretty epic. I mean, it's a whole production, and it's going to be, I like to think, like the first ever like epic horror movie will be the third one, the final one. So there's a lot in store. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens. So it'll be fun. But just Muck was. I wanted to start in the middle. I wanted the reaction from people from starting in the middle, good or bad. I wanted to deliver independent film that was set out to be a franchise. That no matter what was ever going to happen, we were going to give you all these movies. That's not how horror works. Usually, horror is like, if it works, we'll make part 2. We'll make the exact same movie to make more money. And this was always going to be a trilogy. They were all written at once. Before you did anything else, I had all 3 of them written, and picked my moment where one would start, one would stop, and so it's a real trilogy. It's not just 3 movies that, hey, this would make money, so now we're going to make more money in this one. We'll do the exact same thing in this one. This is different. This is like planned on purpose to be a certain way and make you feel a certain way. And everything's going according to plan so far. So.
Well, we enjoyed the movie for the most part. I just got done watching it today, so I look forward to seeing what you do with Muck 2. And it's great that you're filming it here in the Cape Cod area. I didn't realize that until you had just said it. I was kind of looking at that area and going, wow, a lot of that looks familiar. Where is that from? But no, that's really cool that you filmed it right in my backyard of Cape Cod.
Yeah, I love it there. I bought that house we closed on Christmas Day '07. I love it there.
Cool.
It's I don't live there full time, but it's a great area and it's got a lot of history.
Definitely.
They filmed Jaws there, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show with us to talk about Muck, Steve, and we look forward to you coming back out to Massachusetts in May to film Muck 2.
Yeah, you guys will have to try to get out there and get some behind the scenes or something.
Yeah, that would be very cool. We would enjoy spending a day on the set of Muck. I'll stay in touch with you until then.
Cool. All right, man. Well, thank you so much.
I appreciate it.